Hey guys, Kevin here for the Attack of Opportunity, taking a chance to take a look at Final Fantasy XI. It's been so long since this game came out, and I've never really had a chance to play it. So, that said, here's my first look, and for some of you, probably yours too. I hope you enjoy this, at least the little glimpse I'll give you here. I may be doing more of this in the future. If people want to see more of this, please leave a comment below. I'd be happy to look into it for you. Anyone who wishes to try it out, there's a 14-day free trial on the Final Fantasy XI website. 14 days, you can play for free, no questions asked. It's a wonderful game. Anyone who really wants to give it a try, I do suggest, for any fans of the Final Fantasy series, if you even thought that maybe the game looks a little interesting, try it for yourself. I would say you can't really judge this game based on word of mouth. You really do need to see it for yourself. So, with that said, here we have a look at some of your basic character classes, or races. Your Beastman, the Galka, the lovely Catfolk, the Mithra, the Taru, basically short little nomadic adventurers, the Elvan, and the Hume, which is basically your stock human. So, I'm going to take one quick look through here. Here is the human. And a quick glance at some of the other character models available at Character Creation. So, yeah. And then the human male. Alrighty, so you've seen your humans now, taking a quick look at those. Now let's move on to the non-human races, starting with the more traditional Elvan, or Elf, basically in just about any other setting. But quick glance through here into the Elvan male, and now female. And then the Taru. Male and female. And then from here it gets a little weird. The Mithra, basic catfolk in this game, only come in female characters. In the Galka, large burly beastmen, male only. So the two of them offset each other. Instead of making a Mithra male and female, they made the Mithra female, and then instead of making a female Galka, they just made the Galka a male counterpart to the Mithra. In a way, it's weird. So here we see a Mithra Black Mage that I made earlier today, and I started playing a little bit with her. I'll give you guys a quick look at some of how combat works in this game. But for the time being, first, here we see the town of Windurst, one of your starting areas in this game, where you will come back between quests from time to time. Just see some of the gameplay, have a little bit of fun with it. And here you can also see adventurers wandering through. other players. Some looking for groups. Others just wandering through, questing on their own. To each his own. We'll glance at the ability lists here. When you first begin your adventure, you have access to various abilities, from job abilities, weapon skills, class skills, as well as weapon skills, as well as magic spells available to your class if you are a caster, which can be taught using item scrolls, or magic scrolls, that are bought from item shops, magic vendors, things of that nature. When you start the game, if you are a red or black mage, you will start with the stone spell, and a basic weapon, and armor. If you are a red mage, you also get access to the cure spell at level 1. The black mage, on the other hand, gets 1 attack spell, 1 weapon, and you are sent out into the wilds on your own. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to the Leviathan Gate on the east side of Windhurst and go talk to one of the guards there. They'll give you your starting quests and send you off on your way to becoming a general adventurer. They also teach you one very important thing. The first thing they tell you to do is go and talk to the Conquest NPC there and pick up your signet. Basically, at that point, it marks you depending on which nation you are allied to, and allows you to accumulate conquest points for that nation. What it also does is give you a defensive and evasive bonus, which for a low-level player could mean the difference between life and death. Quite frankly, if you're fighting monsters that are a little nastier, you want that evasion bonus. And it does get a little complicated when you're fighting monsters above your current strength level. If you start fighting monsters at tough or higher, that evasion bonus goes away. It only helps if you are fighting monsters at your strength or lower. Keep that in mind. Here we see the East Leviathan Gate and an exit to the town. So, let's see here. So, outside of this gate here is your first quest area. All of your beginner quests are going to be carried out here. The first one involves more or less going out and fighting a monster or two, getting your first couple of levels, coming back. Once back through, you'll actually learn that there are ways you can gain an XP bonus using items called chariot bands, as well as a special earring that can help revive you when you fall without taking an XP penalty. There are other penalties to some of those and other conditions. I won't get into that here. That's for a completely different video, much later. You know, once we've gone past the introductory phase to the game, you'll see a lot more of that. And sorry if the audio kind of cut out here. I don't know what happened. Somewhere in the recording, the audio cut out at this point, and then came back a little bit later. I don't remember what happened here. Something went wrong. There we go. So now, I'm going to take a little walk through the town of Windhurst, and if I can, I'll show you a little bit of how combat works in this game. There's Issa. That was East Sarata Baruda, basically your first questing area, and where most of your combat is going to take place when you're starting out. I don't suggest leaving that area until you're at least 5 or 6, at which point you're able to hold your own against some of the smaller enemies there, and can start fighting larger challenges. Here we have a few items. The Chariot Band, which gives you an XP bonus when used. There is a slight cooldown on it, sadly. There's the Raising Earring, which will allow you to revive yourself without an XP penalty after level 31 or so. And here is your Signet NPC, where you get your Signet for the nation's conquest events. Very important that you talk to this guy, as that all-important evasion defense bonus comes from that, right there. You can also spend conquest points earned by basically wearing your nation's signet and going out into combat by talking to this NPC here. So now, I'm all geared up, I'm ready to go. Let's venture out into Sarata Baruda for a little bit of a look at how combat works. But first, I think I did talk to this guy for a little bit. So, a little glance at how conquest works. Basically, as adventurers battle and earn conquest points, their nation actually can earn bonus effects in various areas to help you in your various endeavors. Winders at the moment is currently in 3rd of the 3 nations, and in the town of Winders there's, I think, 3 different effects going on at once. I can't remember offhand what all of them do. So now, let's take a look at East Sarata Baruda and show you a little bit of how combat works in this game. Most of the enemies you're going to see out here are stuff like the Mandrake, the Mandrake honeybees. I think there's some rabbits running around that you can fight too. Not rabbits, they call them something else, but it's more or less a rabbit-like creature. And then, yeah, we'll look at how combat works here. Basically, by targeting an enemy, you can then begin to attack or cast a spell upon it by pressing the Enter key. Yeah, that's more or less how combat works. That was pretty fast, pretty simple. You'll notice a severe lack of combat keys, because there really aren't that many hotkey skills, anything like that. Literally everything here is menu-based. During combat, you're free to wander, move about. You'll attack your enemy on your initiative. You can cast spells, use items, call for help if you need to. All sorts of things. So, with that said, this has been my look at Final Fantasy XI. Hopefully, you guys will tune back in. I'll have plenty more for you guys once I've gotten my bearings, gotten a little bit more experience under my belt here, to talk a little bit more about it. I'll let you guys see exactly what this game has to offer. But for the time being, that was just a quick glance, more or less, at what this game is capable of. And what you might have to expect from me in the future. So thank you guys for your attention, I suppose. Thank you guys for tuning in today, and I hope to see you next time on the Attack of Opportunity. This is Kevin, signing off.